Yeah, he's coming.
Welcome to No Choftes. This is fun, isn't it? Another loss. Let's see what this pod has got in store for all of us this evening. Fuck this shit. Edo, welcome. Tonight, the 10%, we got it a bit wrong. But hey, can't get it right all the time. I'm Stel. Pedro's here with me. Roy is on holiday in London. I don't know why anyone would come to London on holiday. It's a shithole. But anyway, he's enjoying himself. He can have the night off, you know, and he's having a night off total green as well because he deserves it. So you can't blame Roy tonight, boys and girls. You can't pick on Roy. You can pick on Pedro. And we're going to have a surprise guest later on. But we're not going to tell you who that guest is. Pedro Moore.
Hello. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
How are you? How are you?
Why'd you even ask me that question? We're doing a pod after a defeat, and I'm trying to keep my composure because everyone has lost their shit. It's unbelievable.
Actually, I'm not that lost, to be honest. But I've got something to say before we get into it about the ref. I've got 3 words to say. Duck you, and duck you. That's it.
3 words? That's 2 words.
Well, I said 3 times duck, so...
3 times
duck you,
okay.
duck you,
duck goose.
and duck you.
Yeah, look, bro, I'm not going to lie to you. He was a bad referee, but he didn't have an impact on the game. Okay, he really didn't. He really didn't. I'm sorry. I'm not going to have this.
Impact.
Come on, man. Listen.
Okay, anyway, it doesn't matter. It's not an excuse. It's not an excuse for the result.
It's not. Bro, listen, I'll just be straight up with you, right? I think, and I know people are probably going to start turning off now and start unsubscribing, but I think the Cypriot football culture, it has nothing to do with accountability. There's no accountability for anything, whether it be the fans causing problems, whether it be GOP, whether it be anyone. There's no accountability. And people don't hold themselves responsible. No one holds their hands up and say, I messed up, right? Yep. And the thing is, it goes back to what I said about the fans weeks and weeks and weeks ago, right? If you're unhappy with the situation, don't renew your season tickets, okay? People were saying there's 9,000 season ticket holders. Fine. Well, if you're unhappy with the state of the club, don't renew. Again, I'm not encouraging you guys not to renew, but at the same time, you're part of the problem. But at the same time, when I see stuff like people criticizing certain players like Lesiak, for example, I'll give one example here, criticizing Lesiak for as bad as he's been, and we've been critical of him, no word of a lie. And then I see on all these Facebook group pages, Jan, we're sad to see you go if you're leaving and this and that. Well, make your mind up. 1 minute you like him, next minute you don't. It's this flip-flopping, okay? Accountability, you know? And to be honest, today, the players need to hold themselves accountable again, as does the head coach. I'm going to call it like it is. Win, lose, or draw, he's my coach. But I'll tell you guys, he needs to hold himself accountable. Because before we go into who our special guest is, he reminds me of Berg in the sense that his substitutions are so bloody late in the game. They're so late in the game. And on top of that, he doesn't seem to want to change his system. He's still sticking to that 4-1-4-1. It's bizarre. It's absolutely bizarre. But hey, I'm here for the ride, bro. I'm here for the ride. Because anyone but the last guy. I'll take anyone but the last guy. Oh, the 90% are fuming. They're still coming out their ears.
I think tonight they became 95% at some point.
Do you know what? It's fine. I'm still in the 5% or the 10%. Do you want to introduce our special guest? He's too busy picking his nose at the moment.
Don't eat the booger. Do not eat the booger.
Don't eat it.
Stop sticking your finger in your mouth.
If I meant that Bob said, literally. Right. Go on, bring him in. Bring him in.
Me? Should I bring him in?
Yeah, go on.
Oh, I'll bring him.
He's back. He's back. He exists, boys and girls. He hasn't been blacklisted by No Choftes. He's still part of us. I told you lot, man. Welcome back.
I mean, I thought I would be coming back at least with a win, not a defeat to Pafos at home. I mean,
I forgot what you look like.
It's because I've lost kilos, bro, and I'm full of tattoos now. I missed you guys. I missed this pod. I missed you guys. But why am I on a pod when we just lost again? Oh my God.
Okay. Bye, Chris. Thanks for being here.
Oh my God. I give you the controls. I give you the power to control No Choftes for one night, and he does that.
I deserve that. I deserve that because I haven't been on for a long time.
Pedro, honestly.
How are you, boys?
Oh my God. How?
Καλά είμαστε, ρε Χρήσιμο, καλά είμαστε. Δόξα τω Θεώς. Πήγαμε, είδαμε την μάπα, ήρθαμε πίσω σπίτι γεροί και δυνατοί. Έναν κομμάτι, όπως πήγαμε, έναν κομμάτι, ήρθαμε έναν κομμάτι.
Best decision I made today was not going to the football because I'm working again, so at least I had to relax a little bit. Αλλά να νευριάσω τώρα λίγο με το pod και μετά πάω δουλειά σε καμιά ώρα, but I'm good. It's good to be back with you guys. What did you discuss?
Να σκέψω εγώ, ρε κοπαίγια. Το λοιπόν, πρώτο 15 λεπτών δεν υπήρχαμε μέσα στο γήπεδο. Για μένα η Πάφος ήταν η ομάδα η οποία πίεσε το πρώτο 15 λεπτό. Ήταν καλύτερη που μας. Στο 15 βάλε τον γκολ η Πάφος και ήταν παντός και τον γκολ εξύπνησε την ομάδα και προχώρησε, μπήκε καλύτερα στο υπόλοιπο μέρος του παιχνιδιού. Εμένα φάνηκε μου σε μια φάση, ειδικά στο πρώτο ημίχρονο, ότι ο Κούσουλος ήταν απελπιστικά μόνος του, χωρίς βοήθειες, στο κέντρο του γηπέδου και τούτον υποχρέωσε τον Κούσουλο να κάνει κάποια λάθη, όχι που το φταίξιμο του Κούσουλου, αλλά το ότι ήταν μόνος του να κρατήσει ολοκληρών το κέντρο. Επίσης η αμυντική γραμμή, αν μη τι άλλο, Κουλιμπαλίθε, από σε πολλά. Ο Κουλιμπαλί για μένα ήταν ο καλύτερος παίκτης του αγώνα σήμερα. Καταφέραμε να βάλαμε έναν γκολ και ισοφαρίσαμε το παιχνίδι. Και αμέσως που ισοφαρίσαμε το παιχνίδι, έχασαμε και άλλες μια-δυο ευκαιρίες που εξελιχθήκαν με την παράξενη παρουσία του Φρανσόν στη δεξιά πλευρά, που όλοι απορούσαμε πώς βρέθηκε ο Φρανσόν να παίζει δεξιά μπροστά. Έδωσε πολλές δυνάμεις ο παίκτης, επίεσε, διεκδίκησε, κέρδισε μπάλες, δημιούργησε δύο φάσεις, ειδικά στο πρώτο ημίχρονο, μπροστά από την εστία της Πάφου, που κανονικά και αμέσως και στις φάσεις έπρεπε να προηγηθεί η Ομόνοια με 2-1 και πήγαμε στα αποδυτήρια στο ημίχρονο με το 1-1 στο σκορ. Επίστευκα ότι με την αρχή του δεύτερου ημιχρόνου ότι τα πράγματα να γίνουν λίγο διαφορετικά, ότι δεν άλλασε κάπως το σύστημα, ότι φαίνεται ότι ο Κούσουλος ήταν απελπιστικά μόνος του και πολεμούσε για μέσα στο κέντρο και ελπίζα ότι βρέθηκε ακόμα έναν άτομο για μέσα δίπλα από τον Κούσουλο και να το βοηθήσει να γίνουμε πιο εναλλακτικοί, να μπορέσει να πασάρει κοντά την μπάλα, να γίνει μια αλλαγή της μπάλας πιο γρήγορα και να αλλάξουμε πλευρά επίθεση ή οτιδήποτε. Τούτο το πράγμα δεν έγινε. Το δεύτερο ημίχρονο ήταν μοιρασμένο. Δεν υπήρχαν τρομερές ευκαιρίες το δεύτερο ημίχρονο. Ήταν ίσον το δεύτερο ημίχρονο και από τις δύο ομάδες. Οποιαδήποτε από τις δύο ομάδες μπορούσε να βάλει το τέρμα. Φανήκαμε εμείς οι άτυχοι που δεχτήκαμε έναν τέρμα στο 87, αν είμαι σωστό ρεστέ. Κάπου τζαμέ, 86-87 που το είχαμε το δεύτερο. Κάπου τζαμέ και πλέον δεν υπήρχε και καν ο χρόνος να αντιδράσεις. Το αρνητικό, πολλά αρνητικό πράγμα για μένα, το οποίο αφορά το δεύτερο ημίχρονο, ήταν η καθυστέρηση στις αλλαγές των παιχτών, γιατί φάνηκε ότι κάποιοι παίχτες είχαν μείνει πλέον από δυνάμεις. Έδωσαν πολλές δυνάμεις και δεν μπορούσαν πλέον, όπως για παράδειγμα ο Φράνσον. Είχα την εντύπωση ότι ο Μάθιους τραυματίστηκε στο πρώτο ημίχρονο, δεν ξέρω αν τελικά απλά ήταν τη στιγμή που δεν μπορούσε να πατήσει το point του και κράταν το point του. Για μένα το αποτέλεσμα είναι άδικο, το ότι έχασαμε σήμερα. Η ισοπαλία θα ήταν πιο δίκαιο αποτέλεσμα για μένα. Και αν είχε μια ομάδα που δικαιούταν να βάλει το δεύτερο γκολ και να πάρει το παιχνίδι με 2-1, για μένα η ομάδα ήταν η Ομόνια, όχι η Παφos. Αλλά εντάξει, καταφέρνει η Παφos και σκόρατε. Οκ, end of story. Πλέον, όσο με αφορά εμένα, η υπόθεση πρωταθλήματος τελείωσε. Η Ομόνια μπορεί να διεκδικήσει πρωταθλήμα.
You're only saying that now?
Yes. Yes,
you need to get out. You need to get out.
No.
You need to get out.
Stel's been saying something
You
for
need
the
to get
past
out.
2 to 3 years. The title is over before the season ever started. I remember this shit. And he's always right. Ο Kelly's που περιπέζουν όλοι και λέουν «Όχι ρε να πουλαλεί τούτος ρε, πάει απλά στην Ομόνια». The guy knows something a little bit more. He actually uses his brain.
Someone disagreed with me when I said that Abwell were going to be challenging for the title this season.
Yes, I did. There's
people
no
laughed at me in the chat. People laughed at me in the chat saying, no, they're finished. Finished. Oh, okay. The Chalui knows nothing about football. When I haven't got my coaching badges, I know nothing.
With me believing if my team can do it or not. I had the faith. Now it's gone for the championship. Τώρα να δούμε τι μπορεί να γίνει που και και πέρα, σε τι θέση θα καταλήξουμε, για να δούμε αν θα μπορέσει η ομάδα να διεκδικήσει κάποια ευρωπαϊκή θέση και το κυπέλλο. Δεν έχει κάτι άλλο.
Chris, your evaluation, please.
Should we start from the lineup? Should we start from the performance? Should we speak about how...
Start wherever you want, my guy. The platform's yours.
Bro, it's the same as
Run it back.
It's the same as we saw with Zagaji. The better team that wanted it won. It's as simple as that. We can start with the lineup, going with Banat left back. Okay, got an assist, but he's better at centre back. You could pay Jan. The Franzen thing on the wing, and the winger Arthros, he had some good delivery into the box. I'll give him that, but it's a whole lot of just mumbo jumbo, and it could go back to the coach. Theo Provanidis, he's only been here for 4 or 5 games. The problems are deeper. We all know the problems are deeper. You can stop blaming the players. But it's bigger things. We've been doing this pod for the past 3-4 years, and shit hasn't changed. I haven't been on this pod for 5-6 months, and I feel like I've been saying the same shit still, like I never left. And I'm back in the idea skadabale. So there's nothing that I can say. Was there any positives? I didn't see any positives. Δεν έχω κάτι να πω. Και πάντα τούτο λέω, επειδή πραγματικά δεν έχω κάτι να πω, because it's the same shit that I'm always saying anytime I'm on this pod. There's nothing ever positive. What I want to say, back up Petros a little bit, was he confident that we could challenge for the title? To be honest, I could. But I also knew that Sofronis' one plan, it would only take us that forward. And once he got exposed in that, then that would be it. And here are the problems now. And it's only going to get worse because it's not going to get positive. Nothing is going to change. And if anyone thinks we're staying exadan να φέρουμε ένα άλλο για να μας πιάει το κύπελλο and do the same shit over and over again and paper over the cracks just like we do every year because it's the same shit, still knows it. Και εσύ ξέρεις τα ρε Πέτρο. Πόσες φορές να τα πούμε. But what do we need to do? Stop going to the pitches? Από εκείνο όπως λέμε μες στα comments. What do we need to do? I'm not a coach. Stel's not a coach. Even though 99% of the things that he says are right. They need to fucking look at themselves. What the fuck are they doing? How can a team that supposedly their players εμπληρώνονται τόσα σκατά ρε φίλε, but they're still playing football and they're first and they might even win it? I have no comments. No comments. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Να συμπληρώσω, Chris μου, ότι η Ανόρθωση έχασε τελικά από την Δόξα. Έτσι αυτή τη στιγμή η Ανόρθωση βρίσκεται στην πέμπτη θέση και η Ομόνοια στην έκτη. Με ένα βαθμό διαφορά. 40 η Ανόρθωση, 39 η Ομόνοια. Και η ΑΕΚ, η οποία είναι η επόμενη μας αντίπαλος, είναι με 42 πόντους στη δεύτερη θέση. 6 βαθμούς πίσω από το ΑΠΟΕ.
And we could have been third with a win. Same points with AEK. Okay, Harris hasn't played yet. You want to add anything to that still? How one simple 3-point can change everything from third to sixth. And our Northers is losing. If you don't capitalize on this, when are you going to capitalize? Or what spice?
Dude, it's been the same old story. It's been the same old story all season. It's been the same old story all season. You know, we'd lose or draw a game, and we'd be like, "Yeah, we got." You know, fortunately, Buffalo dropped points. Fortunately, Anotasi dropped points. Fortunately, this one dropped points, and we're sitting there thinking, "Fortunately, fortunately, fortunately." Let me tell you lot something. Yeah, it goes back to accountability. Sofroni could not fix this problem. Berg could not fix this problem. Ferreira, Lennon, they couldn't fix this problem. This one, because it's basic mistakes, basic errors. Yeah, basic errors. The one thing I will give Sofroni credit for, to a certain extent, over a certain period of time, we were kind of solid defensively. But when you look at the facts, we've conceded 24 goals this season. 24. And with the exception of maybe 3 or 4, all of them were preventable. And I'm going to give you some examples because, Pedro, you might want to bring it up. The members area content thing that we've got. Have you brought it up? No? Okay, I'll do it because, you know, someone's fast asleep. Someone's slacking today. There you go. You can join our members area for 99 cents a month where I do an in-depth analysis of our performances. And I'm going to show you guys just a few things what I go over. Just give you a bit of a taster as to what I show every time I do these bloody analysis videos. Because today, the basic errors were there to be seen defensively for both goals. Okay, and let me show you. Okay, so the first goal comes from a corner kick, which, by the way, Bezos takes, or shall I say he receives the ball, and his delivery was trash. But they get rid of the ball. And you'd have thought it's safe here. We're safe. You know, there's a counter-attack, but we're kind of safe. And this is where Primetel fucked up. Okay. So here's the counter-attack. It's how many players are there, right? How many players are in this attack, right? They've got 2. Yeah. And the third one at the bottom, we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players coming back. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's 3 versus 8. This is what makes it funny, right? But I want you guys to watch Adam Lang, who is at the top of the screen here, okay? Because what he does is truly exceptional. And people are going to say, oh, if they are Lang, just watch what he does. It's exceptional. He's standing there. He's standing. He's standing there pointing. Instead of getting back into position, right, as a centre-back, he's standing there. Now, you could say his teammates aren't helping him out and there's 3 players around the ball, 1 on the ball, 2 on either side, yeah? But you're a centre-back, right? Either go to the man, okay, or go back in your position. You got 1 or 2 options. But what does he do? He stands there directing like he's a road police officer when the traffic lights are broken. He's standing there. No. Then he decides to go for the ball. Then he changes his mind, and now it's too late. Why? Because Panas had to slip in at centre-back. Simic has had to go on the left side, but he's not even getting anywhere close to the man that's on the ball. So he's just standing off him. Meanwhile, this guy should have been here by now. I'm not saying that he's super quick, but in the original phase, he should be there. But no. Just let the ball go in the box, by the way, Simic. Just don't go to the man. And here we go. Back stick. Finish. 1-0. Okay? The second goal is absolutely brilliant. Okay? And as much as I love Gaguli here, right? I love the guy. But that's the first mistake. He heads the ball backwards. This is the second mistake. He tries a flick pass. Third mistake. There's that, right? And he's waiting for the referee to blow the whistle. Just fight for the ball. But everyone, not just Gagoli, are standing off. Now, ball comes to the wide man. Pana is in a good position here, right? He's touched tight on him. But what does he do? He backs off. And he backs off. And he backs off. Watch this. Backs off. Then he gets tight. Then he backs off. track the runner, track him, stay on him. No. Fine. You're thinking we got rid of the ball, no problem. Ball's recycled, goes back to him. And look how far he is now. Now, I understand he's had to get back into position. But the moment the ball is flicked out wide, you need to dart towards him. Because once this player gets the ball on his right foot, he's only got one idea, is to whip it in back stick.
Yep.
But hey, backing off, arms behind the back. And this is terrible from Matthews. It's terrible from Fabi. It's terrible from Koulibaly. And it's just bog standard defending. It's bog standard. And we're not getting that right. And until you get that right, you don't win titles. You don't win titles. Defenses win titles. I don't care what anyone says. You can score 100 goals in a league campaign. If you're conceding 80, 90, you ain't winning the title. I'm sorry. And these are basic errors that no coach can coach into these players that are experienced, apart from Pana. Lange's experience, Koulibaly's experience, Matthews' experience. You need to deal with that. Gaguli is not a right winger. That's on the coach. He should not be bringing him on. But at the same time, he needs to show more fight in there because he's crumbled on 3 phases. And that's not good enough. That is not good enough. And he will know it. And it's a learning curve. I'm not shitting on the boy because, again, it's experience. It's inexperience. He's not a winger. That's not what he's meant to do. So, again, that's on the coach. But at the same time, if you're deployed in a certain position and you're given instructions, follow them. But those mistakes that he made, they're basics. They're basics. They're basics. Heading the ball backwards when clearly there's trouble on, not fighting hard enough, stopping, thinking the referee's going to blow. That referee hardly blew his whistle today. When's he going to blow the whistle? So play to the whistle. It's basic. But again, Pana backing off, us clearing the ball, no one tracking. It's basic errors. It's basic errors. So no matter what you talk about the coach, you could talk about Digisi, you could talk about whoever. They're not the ones on the pitch. They're not the ones making those errors. Okay. And again, it's accountability because no one is going to hold their hand up and say, I messed up. No one. They're going to hide behind all the nonsense that's on social media. They're going to hide behind all the vitriol aimed towards the powers that be and the head coach. And it's the easy way out. And these guys have had the easy way out for a long time. I'm sorry. I'm telling you guys like it is. Last week when I did the analysis of the Ayers game, I said there was no fight. Watch it. For 99 cents, you can see what I said. It's like a Psaro Taverna. It smelled like fish there because there were loads of fannies out there. And today we saw fight. Don't get me wrong. But the basic mistakes were there. And I don't care if you have Guardiola, Klopp, you name it, all the coaches. If these defenders and the midfielders are not doing their job, you're going to fail. That simple. Tell me if I'm lying.
No, you're absolutely spot on.
Tell me if I'm lying.
Absolutely spot on. And body language plays a big role. Plays a big role.
When they scored the second goal, everyone's heads dropped. All of them.
Yeah, he was done. They knew he was done. They knew it.
You can tell
he's going to drop.
It's not done on 86 minutes. It's not done on 86 minutes because there's still 4 minutes plus another 4 minutes to go. So effectively, you got 8 minutes to change the game. You could do something different, but they weren't doing it. The heads dropped, and that was it. Head loss, gone. And again, it goes back to character, mentality.
Mentality and standards. It could be, okay, we've got a 1-1. 1 point is good enough. It's all about the mentality. It's all about the body language and how badly you want it. You said it last week. You can tell from their body that, okay, title's over. Let's just play for the sake of playing. We're still going to get paid. Now, I'm not speaking about all the players. Some players actually do give a shit, but it's the truth.
I want to switch up a little bit, going back to the little bits of analysis that I do. Pedro mentioned Koulibaly, and for me, he was our best player. He was our best player. Now, I know Gusulo had a very, very good game, and people are going to say, well, Koulibaly got sent off. But I tell you what, if you watch his performance, that is how you defend. This is how you defend as a defender. Let me just bring out some clips, okay? Because, again, this lad was absolutely gargantuan until the sending off. He was physical, quick, read a lot of the balls, did the basics right, smashed Jairo at one point. The guy was on the ground for about 2 minutes. This header, brave, sandwiching between 2 forwards, got rid of the ball, no stress. Blocking the ball as well, sorted, no problem. He was immense, absolutely immense. And then he got sent off. So what can I tell you? To be honest, if we had another central defender with his attributes and his capabilities, it would be very, very difficult to beat this team. And look at the pace on him. He's absolutely rapid. I mean, there's one clip that you're going to see from the second half where Bruno had about 10, 15 yards on him, and he just tracked him, no problem. One point, you're going to see later on, where Jairo is chasing the ball, and then Koulibaly puts the burners on, and Jairo just gives up. This one, Jairo falls on the floor. Like, and this is a good header as well. Like, he's blocking the path, you know, getting stuck in, being physical, reading the game, heading the ball. Look, this is the one. Yeah, look at the distance, right? Oh, mate, honestly, I you know what? I rate him. I rated him from day one, and people always said to me, "Oh no, you know that Gabriel did some mistake, yada yada yada." I said, defensively solid, and then he goes and does this. I mean, it's just beggars belief what goes on in some people's heads. You could say it's frustration. You could say, you know, head loss. But apart from that, he was our best player as far as I'm concerned. Anyway.
Είχε μια φάση ο Κουλιμπαλί πιάνει μια πάση στην άμυνα, and he went like, "Duck you, I'm gonna score." And he passed to the middle, passed the middle line, passed the defenders, and even tried to give it away in the box.
Yeah. It's just a frustrating night for me anyway, because I think we had... Okay, I'm not going to say that we were dominating, far from it, because Buffalo had their own fair share of opportunities. But in terms of the clear-cut chances and when it came to creating clear-cut chances, we had it. But again, the end product wasn't there. And it goes back to what Rekdal said in his first press conference. This club has wasted a lot of opportunities in the final third. And it was a continuation again tonight. Shall I show you guys? Are you guys ready for this?
Yep. I'm ready.
You guys ready? Okay, God almighty. I don't even know why I do this anymore. I really don't know. So, which one's this? Yeah, so that was a half a chance. You know, a bit. If Stepinski's half a yard quicker, he's getting on the end of it. This one, you either pass it or you put it across the keeper. He didn't do it. Okay, so that's an opportunity. This was second half. You're thinking, someone get on the end of this. There's Franson, slips. I don't know what's going on here. This is another opportunity. Put it across the face of goal. You need someone there. Put it across the face of the 6-yard box. This one, perfect opportunity to get the ball over the top. What does Bezos do? There you go. Plays it straight to the opponent. And you're sitting there thinking, God, you're 3v3 going forward. Just play the right ball. And they can't even do that. And this is what frustrates me, because, again, when you've got these opportunities to spray the ball, I mean, look at that. You're 1v1. I know he's offside. But take a touch and finish. It's not good enough. It really isn't good enough. We were wasteful in the final third. We were wasteful with the through balls, with the clear-cut chances to pass the ball through. The opportunity was on to play it to Gagole out wide, but he went through the middle. I don't know why. This is another one. What kind of a pass is this? Stretch the game. Play it wide. They got gaps there, gaping holes. Switch it wide. Simic was already making that run out wide, but then he notices that the player shifts his body and he's going to play it through the middle, so he's having to make that spin out wide. But again, we've got these opportunities to play these through balls, whether it be out wide to stretch it or through the middle, and it's like the lack of composure and the lack of accuracy is concerning, man. It really is concerning. I'm sorry.
Those two plus, just I don't get why they don't keep it simple. Do the simple pass. Do the simple whatever. They're complicating everything. Yeah. Less is more, not in football, in everything. Less is more. Keep it simple. I'm not a football player. I know it's different being on the pitch. But if I have someone running to the side of me and I decide to flick it with the outside of my foot to the other side, which Bezos does many times, then I don't understand what goes through their head.
Chris, there were numerous occasions where players were holding onto the ball for way too long. When you're playing in the derbies, right? When you're playing in the derbies, the intensity is higher than what it would be against the likes of Ayers. Granted, Ayers were doing their job. They were tactically fouling us. They were closing us down very well. But they did their homework, that 2 or 3 of our players, once they get the ball, they can't take a touch and pass it. They want to hold on to the ball, hold on to the ball, and it's infuriating because, look, Roman Beza scored a lovely equaliser for us, but there were many occasions today where there was so many chances for him to spray the ball out wide. All we need to do is take a touch, bring it inside and spray it. What did he do? One touch, one touch. You're thinking, lay it off now, or play it backwards. And he's holding on to it, And when you do that against a team that's compact like Pafos, that have got men in the middle of the park that are very good at closing you down, because they're very good at that, especially centrally, right? Every time Bezos will get the ball, he's surrounded by 2-3 players. And they know that he holds onto the ball for too long. And when the opportunity to spray it is there, he doesn't do it. Now, don't get me wrong. He's hit, miss, or maybe kind of player, because there were some occasions on this game where you play these excellent passes and you're thinking, wow, that's fantastic, brilliant. Do it consistently. But then there'll be times where you think, why are you trying the impossible? Why just keep it basic? You know, David Beckham was one of the best crossers of the ball in the world. But do you know what made him special? Because he did the basics right. He wasn't a phenomenal player. He could cross a ball, he could shoot a ball, and he had energy. Yeah? But he did the basics right. There's no harm in a 5-yard pass. No harm in it. You'd rarely see David Beckham make a run with a ball because he didn't have pace, didn't have upper body strength. Okay? It didn't have it in him, didn't have a low center of gravity. When you get the ball, play it. Move it on. Because when you move it quicker, it means your opponents have to get back into position quicker. It's basics. And this isn't me talking as if like I know the game inside out. It's basics.
Hold the ball, run more, don't give the pass. Defender's already back. It's not hard. You really don't have to be a professional footballer to understand the basics. Basics. Less is more. For the love of God, you are professional footballers that get paid a lot of money to do this. What?
Let me ask you a lot of question. Name me one player in the league, in the Brathlima, that you can safely say when he gets on the ball, he can beat 2 or 3 players at a time.
Mayambella.
Mayambella, okay.
Mayambella.
And when did you ever see Mayambella holding onto the ball for longer than he should do? He'll drift inside. He'll drift inside from the flank, and he will smash it with his left or right foot. Okay, but he's not afraid to play square ball and then spin off in behind.
I know who even it's Marquinhos, and we can take an example of what he scored against us. It was a simple move and a shot, and he scored.
Drop of the shoulder, yeah. Drop of the shoulder.
Simple. Drop of the shoulder, shoot, goal. Could have been out, but you take your chance. And κάθε να πει πήλα στη μάπα και βαστάς, left, right, then if I'll shot, or maybe I'll change my mind, then I'll pass back. It's done.
I can't wait till I do my pass completion stats. I can't wait to do that. My goodness. Anyway, I've said what I had to say. Lads, the floor is yours. I'm pretty much done with my analysis anyway. As I said, you can go in the members area and see my analysis in the next couple of days.
You want to bring some comments up? I don't know.
Yeah, go on, Bedri. Bring them up. Bring them out. Bring them out.
I'll bring up the sad ducks.
Bring them out. Oh, I might play that tonight. I haven't played that in a long time.
I'm going to bring up the sad ducks.
Angry birds tonight, mate.
Yay.
The clown face.
Yay.
Actually, I've got a question for you guys. What did you make of Stepinski's debut? In fact, what did you make of the debut of the 2 players, Bakic and Stepinski? What did you make of them?
Stepinski was all right. I think he should have, could have been a pass or just smash it on the left corner, which was the easiest option. I think the delivery to him was all right. But again, I'm not going to judge him on the first game. So let's wait and see. The other player, Bakic, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, I don't have any comments on him. Let's just wait and see. Petro?
Το ίδιο ρε φίλε. Ο Στεμίνσκι πιστεύω έπρεπε να ήταν λίγο πιο ομαδικός και να βγάλει την πάσα παρά να δοκιμάσει να βάλει τον γκολ. Να ήταν πιο εύκολο πιστεύω. Όσο για τον άλλο τον παίχτη, τον Μπάκιτς, αν το κάνουμε σωστά, it's too early to tell. No,
do you know what? At first glance.
But let me complete. I'm very hopeful for Bakic. I don't know why.
What's his preferred position? What's his preferred position?
He's a centre forward.
Centre
forward. No.
Look, put it this way, right? I think Stepinski was okay, given that he's had one training session, if that. He doesn't know his teammates, and he did show signs of, it was promising, but straight away I'm already seeing issues with him being the lone striker because you ain't feeding him. You ain't feeding him, and you know what's going to happen. If he doesn't score in the next game, then it's all panic buy. If he doesn't score in the game after that, he's rubbish. If he doesn't score in the game after that, METAGRAFES, why didn't we bring in a striker? You know this is going to happen. And I'm going to say to you lot from now, like I told you lot about Shepa and Dura.
I know what's coming. I know what's coming. I know what's coming.
Cooper, if you ain't putting the ball in the box and giving him the ball in the box, he ain't going to score. He had one chance today. One chance. And he had half a chance when the ball came across the face of the goal and he was half a yard off. Yeah, so already, after one game, he's feeding off of scraps, like Shepa was doing. And Shepa, who scored goals in January when he came and helped us win the title, the following season, all of a sudden, you shit, apparently, from supporters. And then they're going to come back with, we haven't had a striker since Matt Derbyshire. Well, Matt Derbyshire had supply. Did he not?
He was getting the ball in his feet in the box. He can score. He scored. Simple as that.
So is it on the player or is it on the system? Or is it on the players around him?
You know what? At this point, I think it's a bit early.
Accountability, that's the word. Accountability.
Accountability, I agree with it. I agree with it. But with the guy having just one practice and with the squad around him not being complete, and with the coach being in Cyprus just for 2 weeks, let's give it some slack, I think.
Guys, what would you have gone different at 1-1? Maybe switch to a 4-4-2, put Am on the wing, play with Gagwin Stepinski up top. We either go.
Άμα κόψει τα σουβλάκια, ρε φίλε, και χάσει άλλο 15 κιλά, ύστερα να μείνω στο γήπεδο να παίξει μάπ.
I agree, but even that, you can still see that he sees those passes that others don't.
Ρε φίλε, I can play for 5 minutes also. That doesn't make me a footballer.
Bro, I mean, o Zahario and Gamen FEN, we gave Loizu. I'm not backing anyone here, by the way. I'm not supporting any player, but you don't have right wingers yet. He decides to play Gagu on the wing. So, I mean, that's on the coach. But it doesn't matter. We lost. Next game, is it away or home, Medinai? Because I can't remember.
Έχουμε ΑΕΚ away, Apollon away, Ανόρθωση home. Ύστερα από 3 εβδομάδες να δούμε την Ομόνια μπάλε.
Let's be realistic. Πόσους πόντους θα πιάνουν τα 3 παιχνίδια? ΑΕΚ, Apollon και Ανόρθωση. Truthfully, brutally honest. 3 points.
3.
Still?
Who we got next?
ΑΕΚ away, Apollon
away,
Ανόρθωση home.
Ανόρθωση home.
What shape is an asshole?
Wow.
That's a small asshole, man.
Is it? What have you had in yours?
No, he was smaller before.
Angurka. Gubez. Oh my God, that's why you were sick there, Chris, because he shoved it up his backside and gave it to you. Oh my goodness.
Finally, explanation.
Pedro violates himself with Gubez.
But tuck you, still. Tuck you. You see, I'm minding my manners. Tuck you.
Ain't no manners here.
Shall I tell you what also concerned me today? The amount of joy Buffalo had in wide areas when they were attacking. Igogo was loving it down his right-hand side. Their left back was getting forward a whole bag of times. And Joe, when they said that Militic was warming up, I thought, is he gonna go 3 at the back and 2 wing backs?
Εγώ ρε φίλε ποτέ το Militic να κάνει warm-up and νόμιζα πως ήταν για τον
Matthews, yeah.
Because it was about the same time that I saw Matthews like grabbing his leg from behind and having a bit of a difficulty running. So I thought that he was going to come up to sub Matthews.
He's played a lot of games this season as Matthews, though, to be honest. He's played a lot of games and 34 years old.
And he's
looking techie.
We are used to being like when they're not ready.
Phonies would not have lost this game still. Like, I love it.
Maybe.
Neither would have Yannick.
Both this game.
Yannick wouldn't have lost it either. Yannick wouldn't have lost it either.
Δικαίωμα σου φίλε μας θέλεις να κάνεις από εκεί να την κάνεις.
What about Lennon? Would Lennon have lost it as well?
Lennon was also lost in his brain anyway, so...
More successful than Sofroni, though.
Yeah.
Less time. Facts don't care about feelings, boys and girls. You can cry as much as you want. By the way, George, thank you for the 5 memberships. Appreciate it, my guy.
It was, yeah. Thank you, George, for the 5 subs. It was before we come on live. How about answering this still?
Yeah, this is a problem that we had under Berg as well. But again, is it a player level in terms of their energy, or is it a coaching issue? That, listen, the way I see it is that when a coach comes in, they're going to come in and bring in their own ideas, their own tactics, their own training regimen. I mean, when I spoke to Botiak the other day on the members area, by the way, because you can only watch the interview with Eric Botiak on the members area, I was going to release it for the subs.
A very nice interview still, very nice.
I was going to release it for the subs, but you know what? The members, right, have been backing us and are helping keep the lights on. So if you want to watch that interview with Botiak, 99 cents, it's there. And I don't want the websites to take it, to be honest. I don't want them to put it there because it gets some clicks. No disrespect to the websites because they're doing a great job. Don't get me wrong. But this is our content. We're keeping it for ourselves for now. Yeah? It's no disrespect. I'm just saying, you know, we work hard for this stuff. So, look, the coaches come in, they have their own training methods, etc., etc. Now, if you look at Carcedo, for example, at Pafos, have you noticed how more physical they are, quicker on the ball, and how their stamina levels seem to be pretty fine? I haven't noticed them getting any muscular injuries. I haven't noticed it, to be honest. So I can't
today they had a few occasions that the players fell down and like I don't know if
Ikoko went down, but was that a hammy or I don't know. I don't know what it was. But again, I need to obviously go back and trawl through it. Excuse me. But this is what I'm talking about, managerial changes. Forget the whole the systemic side of things, the tactics, etc. When you constantly bring in a new head coach and they each have got their own training methods, it's not great on the body as well. And I'm not making excuses. The best example I could give is that if, for example, you go to the supermarket and you buy Nescafe, for example, right? And then a couple of weeks later, you go back and then there's no Nescafe, but there's another brand, and you get that. It doesn't taste the same. I know it's a shit analogy, but I'm just saying that eventually you're thinking, well, how many bosses for this, man? Like and I think the players need to get used to this coach, but they need consistency as well. What Botiak said, I was going back to what I was saying. What Botiak said is that with Berg, the one problem he had with Henning Berg is that from the moment he joined the club, Botiak, to the time he left, Berg, by the way, the training sessions were all the same. There was no variation.
They always knew what they were going to do in the next day. They knew what they were going to do on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday. It was the same.
And it becomes stale. It becomes like, I know what's coming. It's predictable. So obviously, maybe Berg had that in mind. He wanted to keep it the same because it was working. But at the same time, Babadagi was there monitoring everything. Now, again, I'm not going to... Look, it's not fair for me to criticize the medical team because I don't know what happens in the background. And Babadagi... he seems to have the Midas touch wherever he goes. But at the same time, let's get it right. When Sofroni was at Abuel with Babadagi, the year that Apollon won the title, Abuel had a whole bag of injuries as well, right? Yeah. So you could say it was the training, or you could say that a lot of these players were injury prone. There's loads of permutations involved. So I can't pin it on the medical staff. I can't pin it on... I think it's a combination of a lot of things. But at the same time, again, no disrespect to the players, sometimes instead of getting on the plane and flying to France or flying to Dubai and this and that when you got a couple of days off, stay at home, because all of that jumping on the plane, your sleep patterns go, picking up your luggage, because I'm pretty sure they're not like Premier League players where they have people doing it for them. All of these things, it adds up. It all adds up. It's a mentality thing, bro. It's mentality. And this is...
I'm going to go to the interview that you did with Paul Parker, the Manchester United player. He said,
because we have a podcast.
They were doing repetitions.
Because people don't know about this.
Repetitions. Yeah. On the No Choftas Network, You have the ability to watch a guy that won the Premier League give interviews and answer questions to what Stell asks him, and you will be dumb enough.
Maybe people aren't watching it because he's got no hair. I don't know.
Επειδή Kelly, if they look at you, they used to
got no hair.
Έχουν κάνει μας Kelly. We've already
been past years. But anyway, Paul said that they were doing repetitions also. Like a guy was throwing the ball at him to make a header, then throw the ball back for a left kick, and then throw the ball back for a right kick. And he was asking, why do we keep doing this? It's boring. And he said that footballers have to do these things to get a repetition going on and have how did he put it still?
Just remind themselves.
Reminder, a repetition and being reminded of the basics. So yeah. Anyway, should we move on with the messages?
Keep bringing them up because there's loads, man. There's loads. Yeah, 150 people watching live, by the way. Don't forget to hit that like button, please. I beg.
I want to answer to this message from Stegas, which says that όποιος πάει γήπεδο συνενοχώς για την καταστροφή της Ομόνοιας. Φίλε μου Στέγιο, να σου πω κάτι. Αν έχει ένα πράγμα για το οποίο οι Ομονιάδες, οι φιλάθλοι δεν είναι υπεύθυνοι, είναι η καταστροφή της Ομόνοιας. Ακριβώς το αντίθετο, οι Ομονιάδες εκείνοι που πάντα υποστηρίζουν το καλό της ομάδας. Κανένας Ομονιάτης δεν θέλει το κακό της Ομόνοιας. Επομένως, εκείνοι που πάει γήπεδο δεν προκαλούν καμία καταστροφή. Είμαστε όλοι μεγάλοι άνθρωποι, έχουμε το δικό μας σκεπτικό. Ο καθένας μπορεί να πάρει τη δική του απόφαση. Αν θέλει να πάει στο γήπεδο, αν θέλει να κάτσει σπίτι του, αν θέλει να βγάλει το season του, αν θέλει να αγοράσει τη φανέλα του ή όχι. Επομένως, κανένας Ομονιάτης δεν είναι συνένοχος για την καταστροφή της Ομόνοιας. Είναι απόφαση του καθενού ατομικά. Disagreement?
Agreed. You can also say the creativity thing under Sofronis, where we were just playing down Semedo's side. Could be that also. Could be a lack of how badly you also want it, to be fair. It's just like Stel says, basics. How fucking hungry you are, bro. Or if you're just there for a paycheck.
Chris, don't forget, we can talk about the Doxa game because that was his first game, and we saw signs of progress in terms of the passing patterns, and someone in the chat in the members area called it dirobita, the triangles, yeah? Call it dirobita, right? Today we saw that sometimes, and it goes back to what someone asked after it was the Doxa game when they said, can we do that system in the derby? And I said, I don't know. Because in the derby, you're playing against teams with two holding midfielders. Yep. Yeah. And it just depends on the two attacking midfielders, or the two number 8s being Bezos and Humber to do those jobs. Today, I saw Humber drifting to the left. I didn't see Bezos drifting out to the right to help. Yeah. And again, I'm not pinning it on Bezos. I'm just saying that something was off. It was off against Ayers. The one thing I noticed against Ayers that was off was the lack of passing fluidity. One-touch pass. It was sloppy. Again, watch the analysis. Sloppy passing, giving the ball away cheaply. It wasn't good enough. But I thought, you know what? You can call it a bad day at the office. I'll give them the bly. Yeah? You can blame the pitch, whatever you want. It was just a bad day at the office. But today, there were moments where we're passing in patterns. Like, for example, I think it was the counter-attack where Bezos was brought down, and it was great movement. I think even the one that led to the cross from Matthews where Stepinski was got on the end of it, that was a good move. But it was very rare. We weren't passing the ball quick enough. The movement wasn't great. Could you say that Buffer defended well? Yes. But as I showed you in those short clips, and those are just short clips I was able to get, randomly kind of thing, because I've got shit ton of notes for the analysis, 99 cents. I'm going to keep talking about it. But there were numerous occasions where the easier ball was on, whether it be out wide or through the middle. But again, it's the decision-making. And I repeat, basics. Just as the defending was the basic mistakes, same with the passing, basic mistakes. With the lack of cutting edge, basic mistakes. The one thing I will say, try and find that light at the end of the tunnel. We have a centre forward now that you can safely say is a proven goal scorer. I don't think anyone can dispute that. Can anyone dispute that Stepinski is a proven goal scorer in Cyprus? Is this debatable?
Whatever the coaches of the internet want to say that he was the third and fourth option at Aris, just keep it to yourselves. He is a proven goal scorer, as Sto says. But it also goes back to, it doesn't matter who the fuck you bring. Excuse me for my language. If you don't have the delivery, he ain't going to do shit. And just like the cassette is always rolling, it's going to go back to the same as Tsepa and Dura and the same and the same and the same.
Do you want me to respond to that comment there?
Yes. That's why I left
it. You finally got Gatos fired. Well, you're a couple of weeks late for a start. A couple of weeks late. And I didn't get him fired. I weren't the decision maker. Because if I was a decision maker, he wouldn't have come in the first place. Yeah? That's the first thing. But it's funny how people like to bring up Sofroni and this and that he was the saving grace. Yeah? How many head coaches have been sacked since Sofroni left the job?
Another 2.
Sorry, still I didn't hear the question.
How many head coaches have been sacked since Sofroni lost his job?
Another 2.
No, sorry.
Right. Another 2.
I think he was the 11th, isn't it? Now it's 13.
13, yeah? So
now it's 13 coaches that have lost.
So how come neither of those clubs wanted him?
I gotta agree on this, because if he's as good as a coach, there's a lot of teams are actually looking for a coach. So
people gonna say, oh, because he's an Apollon fan, he'd never go to IL. That's nonsense.
That's bullshit.
It's nonsense. I'm not having that. Okay, I'm not having that. But hey, we'll give him a bly, even though he's an Omonoia, apparently. Right. So what about Othello? Was it Othello? I can't remember who it was. I think it was Othello. Shkazni got sacked. Why didn't they go for him?
No.
Why didn't they go for him? Because he rejuvenates teams, doesn't he? Or is he waiting for the national team job, which is what I think he's waiting for, to be honest. How come no club outside of Europe have gone for him? Outside of Cyprus, sorry. Because there's a Cypriot coach in Romania, so it's not as if Cypriot coaches don't coach abroad. So if he's so good, why is he not good enough to make that next step up? I'm not here to shit on the guy, but I don't understand this weird mentality, like this weird obsession with him. I mean, do you not have blow-up dolls of Sofroni in your house? You jerk it off. Like, is that what it is? Like, I don't understand.
It's the feeling of που νιώθουν ότι δεν μπορούν να βρουν κάτι καλύτερο, because this is how the mentality goes. Εν Κυπρέος, ξέρω πράθυμα, είναι πια μας στο κύπελλον, and the motivation. It's like you've got an amazing girlfriend, gives you amazing sex. Sorry that I'm speaking about this. And then you break up. And you've got the feeling, να βρω κάποιαν όπως τούτη. And this is the way they think. It's the fear. Θα βρουν κάποιος σαν το Σοφρόνι. Και τούτο μην ισχύει και μη ισχύει. And we go back. Ήταν ο Σοφρόνις τούτο. And έπρεπε να φάνε το Σοφρόνι. Yeah, maybe that. Maybe Sofroni's wasn't the issue. Maybe it's a whole lot in the back. But I can also agree with what you're saying now.
It goes back again to what I said about accountability and passing the buck and the Cypriot football culture. It's rife, okay? And you look at the amount of... Okay, look at last season. The amount of head coaches that there were changes. 28 last season. When it's not working, they just sack them straight away. Just sack them straight. Don't give them time. Don't give them the opportunity to do so, right? I was talking to a friend that used to work for Omonoia today, and he said to me, he usually judges head coaches based on 3 transfer windows. And I said to him, like, I wanted to say to him to get the chance to, but no head coach really gets 3 transfer windows these days. None of them. Yeah. So again, it's back to the Cypriot football culture. When things aren't going well, the fans cry, the organomeni cry, the newspapers, the websites make a mountain out of a molehill, and the head coach gets sacked. So how do you expect any consistency? Who's the most successful head coach in Cypriot football recent history? Over the last 20 years. Last 20 years. Come on. It's an obvious one. Most successful one. In the last 20 years.
Wait, for us or general?
Just in general.
Filio Jovanovic.
Right. And how many years was he there?
Huh?
Bende.
Ήταν 5 χρόνια.
5
I'm
years.
Right?
Something along those lines. Something along those lines. I'm sure if I'm wrong, and people can say, oh, different times and so. I'm sorry, but he was in a role for 5 years. Win, lose, or draw. It doesn't matter if they were successful because we won the league and our head coach was sacked the next season. Even though, okay, we didn't get top 6, but we were still in the cup. But so there's still the opportunity to win a cup. So again, it's non-existent anymore. And this is the Cypriot football culture. Yeah? Again, it goes back to accountability. No one holds their hands up and says, I messed up. Why do you think there isn't a Cypriot player playing for an elite football club? Accountability. It's always someone else's fault. It's not the player's fault. Why do you think the Cypriot national team has never qualified for a major tournament? Accountability. It's not the player's fault. It's this one's fault. It's that one's fault. And yes, there are people involved that are to blame for it. But as a collective, everyone is accountable. Everyone. Like it or not. Facts don't care about feelings. Cry more.
It's common. How things change in 2 weeks.
But you say that, but 1 or 2 bad results, and Ben Shimon, his neck is going to be on the chopping block. 1 or 2
I was gonna mention now that let's not forget that Jovanovic,
culture
in his second year, he was having a bad run at the beginning.
Right, but you know what happened? Whoever made the decision to keep him vindicated.
Oh, if he was, you don't know if he was, but
it doesn't matter. I don't care who it was. I don't care if it was a Bakali from the corner. I don't care. Whoever made the decision to keep him was bang on. But you know what? Patience. You trust the process. And what a surprise. We've got a brand new process and everyone is arguing, getting angry about this and that. All right. You're going to come across bad results. As I said, when this guy came in, for me, the season's done. This is his preseason. This is because he gets to understand the league. Next season, if we're not challenging next season, then the argument is over. I lose the argument. Because if we're not challenging next season, as Jesper said, he needs 4 windows. January next year is next season. That's his 4th window. If we're not challenging after that, I'm wrong. You lot are right. Write a letter to your blow-up doll, ask him to come back. Pump him up again. Blow him up again. I don't know where you're going to be blowing him. I don't know if it's going to be the backside or the front. Blow him.
His comments.
Bring him back. Revive him.
Still, I've noticed that many of the guys here make comments that we're having tonight for the first time this year. Many comments about the physical condition. Many comments about the physical condition. I don't know. In partly they're right because we see our football players. It's only the first round gone, and they can't make it to the 90th minute.
Yes, I agree. That's a very, very good point. But as I said before, I'm sure we have a medical team, and look, they've got GPS on their body, so they can track how many kilometers they run. They obviously have heart monitors, and they test them, and everything from stamina levels, etc. So I'm sure they notice the times when the players' performances drop or whether they slow down a little bit. The data's there. It's all there. I'm not privy to it. If I had it, then I can share it with you guys and explain it as best I can. In fact, what I'm going to do, just for you guys, actually, for the members, I'm going to get, and I've just said it. I've remembered. Ben Dinnery. If you go on X and find Ben Dinnery, he does the Premier Injuries website, which most FPL player use when it comes to finding out when players return from injuries. He knows about injury stats, return to play, return to fitness. He can tell us everything about injuries, everything, how things work in the background. And you know what? I might even try and get Johnny Wilson, who's the clinical director of 108 Harley Street, who was involved in Project Restart of the Premier League after COVID. I'm going to see if they'll come on. You might not understand Johnny because he's got a strong Irish accent, and Ben is from Newcastle. I might have to get subtitles, Pedro. So, but they can explain everything. Because you want to delve into things and do things properly and find out how football really works instead of sitting there talking about other stupidness. That's for someone else, not for us. We do things different.
I want to add something to that. You say a lot of people speaking about the condition, but still mention something, and you mentioned something. You also got to know, and the players got to take accountability. They play the match. They do their training. What do they do when they go home? Do they do the proper recovery, the proper rest, the sleeping pattern? food that they might eat. If all of this is disturbed, sorry, if I go out drinking tonight and I eat a whole lot of junk food and I go to do something the next day, if I DJ the next day, let's say I'm a football player, would I have the same performance? I absolutely not. It's what you do outside the field also that plays a role on how you would progress and take an accountability for yourself.
Where was Amor today? Was he at Burger King?
He does to Lugu.
I don't want to bash the guy, but if you've been doing ατομικών πρόγραμμα 5-6 μήνες, εγώ εκατέβηνα αγώνες with 8% body fat, especially if you're getting paid to fucking do this job. What do you do when you leave? Are you going home and stuffing your face with food? Are you sitting and playing PlayStation until 3 in the morning and maybe waking up at 7 o'clock and going to training at 8? I work at 7 o'clock in the morning every single day. And I'm not a professional football player, but I know that I need to go to bed by 9 because if I don't have a good sleep, I will underperform at my job. If I underperform on my job, that will play a big role on my monthly, could be the income or whatever. It's how you look at it. It's accountability. It's how serious you are in it. Everything plays a role. And then μόνο να παίζεις μάπαν και άλλοι στέρμαν και τα εξωτερικά ρε φίλε. And still said it. Everything plays a role. The sleeping pattern, everything.
Yeah, but Chris, I'm going to flip it a little bit here because you can say that the players need to take responsibility, but at the same time, how do we know that some players aren't playing through the pain barrier? How do we know that some players aren't having painkilling injections before games? We don't know this. Yeah. So again, is there something going in the background? Again, I'm just speculating. I'm not saying that it's happening, but it wouldn't be a surprise to me if there are some players that are carrying knocks and are giving him painkilling injections and they can't last the 90 minutes because by the time it hits 70 minutes, the anesthetic wears off or whatever drug is in there, and the pain comes back, so they can't run.
And it's something that we've seen Russian players back before they're ready. Matthews could barely run today. That means he's obviously injured and he's playing through pain. And it's a very valid point what you just said.
So there are loads of factors, but again, this club needs to be run like a professional club, not a bazari. I'm sorry. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. But I'm hoping that they will turn things around. I'm hoping that the strategy also does involve more emphasis on sports science and analytics. I'm hoping that it does because clearly it needs to be implemented. You look at the clubs, look at Brentford, for example. I know it's a Premier League club, but they don't have a scouting team. They don't have scouts. You do know this. They don't have scouts that go to games. Oh. They rely on stats and data. That's how they find players. That's how they do it. A lot of clubs are doing it now. A lot of them. Anderlecht are doing it. Viborg are doing it. Hang about Anderlecht and Viborg. There was another Jesper that was at Omonoia that was at those clubs. Anyway, sorry.
By the way, this message here from Tasso, I want to reply to him. Tuck you, Tasso. Tuck you too.
Quack off.
Tuck you, Tasso. Just some of the guys when we were talking about which is the player that can dribble through 3 players and pass them. Kyriakos and Ennados are saying, Semedo, sorry guys to disappoint you, but no. No.
You can on some occasions.
If it's if it's with a team like Aris or Apollon or Aboel, these teams that they have fast defenders, no, he can't. He can't do it. Pambica could, and Mayabella does. Semedo, no. What was this?
What more can we say?
Εντάξει,
Στράζι μου, δεν κατηγορήσαμε τον Στεβίνσκι. Απλά είπαμε ότι πολλά γλύωρα. Yeah, it was his first game. He wanted to score.
No, I wasn't criticizing him.
We're not. That's what I'm explaining. Yeah, we're not criticizing him. We just, I'm the one that said it. That I believe that he should have done the pass because at that point, you're going to score. Αν δεν να με 2-0, κάμε 15 σούτις να είσαι εγωιστής 7 και 8 και 10 φορές. Δεν με κοφτεί.
Pedro, let's go back to the interview with Botiak again. When I asked him the difference between Matt and Shepa, because they were both goal scorers, he said Shepa was unselfish. He tried the pass in the box, but Matt, one eye for goal, okay? And that's what Stepinski seems to be for me. His eye is on goal scoring. And as I said, for the people that criticize the signing of Stepinski, a guy that scored goals in Serie A, a guy that scored goals in Ligue 1, these are the two elite leagues in the world. And he's only 28. He's not 33, 34, past it. For crying out loud, when I saw people criticizing the signature of him, I'm thinking, at the beginning of the season, if someone said to you, we're signing Stepinski, you'd have got a Stepinski blow-up doll like you did with Gatto. You'd be having threesomes with him. You wouldn't know which one to blow. Honestly. But again, the mentality, the accountability mentality, the weird culture mentality. Oh, we're never happy. As I said in the chat to you guys, Omonoia could sign Lionel Messi, and people were complaining that he's 35, 36. He's not good enough. One of the greatest of all times, multi-Ballon d'Or winner, yada, yada, yada. Not good enough for Omonoia. Why? Because his CV? No, you can't blame that because he's 36. Okay. So what's the problem? What do you not want? Name me 11 players that you want, please. Just name me 11 players that you want. Just make a list of 11 players, like you did to Vasily when you were a kid. Make a list and send it in and say, we want this player, we want that player. Okay? We want this player, we want that player. Please, Mr. Janssen, sign us this one. I've been a good boy this year. I've only watched Gutter Porn once.
By the way, holy shit, man. What was that? Gutter Porn? Gutter Duck? Apollon drew with IS, by the way. 0-0.
You had me there.
Yeah.
So there was another opportunity for us. Same old story.
So now we're guaranteed top 6.
Are we?
Guaranteed. No, we're not.
Ρε φίλε, κοίταξε να δεις. Είναι πολλά δύσκολο να σε φτάσει ο Απόλλωνας τώρα από 9ο
με
33 βαθμούς.
If you get 0 points and they win...
Stop.
2.
Stop, ρε Πέτρο. Σταμάτα, ρε Πέτρο.
33.
Still, don't bring us below 6th position, for God's sake.
Man. Okay, no. Pareda.
He doesn't like being realistic.
This is called no choftes.
Damn.
Κάκωσε σε με τη striker, εντάξει, there's no hunger for trophies πιον. Ναι, χορτάσαμε, ναι.
Mentality.
Yeah.
To be honest, I kind of agree with that comment. It doesn't look like they're hungry and for trophies.
Ούτε έτσι η ομόνια της.
Ναι, λέω τα όπως είναι εγώ. That's the difference.
Okay, if you're not hungry for it, that's okay.
I'm not the one that's playing. If I was, I might be hungry.
Bro, how can you have the hunger for a title when you got no leaders? Eric said it the other day. And I hate to go back to the past, but Eric said it the other day. When we won the title, Huberchan, Jordi, Vitor, Shepa, Dura, Lufna, Fabi. You know when you see, when you see, do you know what? You know when you see, for example, I'm just trying to think. Okay, Spurs. Oh, thank you, Mario. Top man. Chris, you know when you see these things on social media with, say, for example, you know the Spurs when they got to the Champions League final against Liverpool, and you got the players standing there with a photograph of the team lineup. And the only players that aren't greyed out are the ones that are still at the club. Mm-hmm. If you take the 11 that, say, for example, finish the season for us, how many players are still there? Lesiax, Fabi.
Lesiax, Fabi.
Gagu started against Apollon in the final game.
That's it. I don't think Hambos played that year.
No, well, he in and out. He was injured most of the season. He was only 16 at the time, 17, I think. 16, 17.
That's it.
Yeah. Gusu, 3.
Gusu, no. That's it.
3. So where is the core? Where is the core players where you could say there's a spine there to say leader, 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 leader?
Shall I come out and say there's no leaders? Should I say maybe the only one is maybe Gusu?
Yeah, Gusu is the only one. I can't even put Fabi in that because Fabi's in goal. What can he do there? He's not in the middle of the pitch smashing players. So there's no leadership all around the pitch. The outfield players, no leadership.
Another one. Comment. Lang was there also. Sorry,
Lang,
but that's not a leader for me. Sorry.
The regret. I mean, to be honest, he was all right today, apart from that mistake. He was all right. All right. All right. But that, again, that's not good enough. All right ain't going to win you the titles.
Nope.
He ain't going to get you challenging. I don't even know why I'm saying winning the title. He ain't even going to go to challenge. That's the level that we're at now. We're challenging for top 6. But again, it's a process and you need to be patient. And I'm willing to give it that patience. I'm willing to do it. So from now to the end of the season, I couldn't care less. Couldn't care less.
Whatever happens, happens now, I guess.
Εντάξει ρε παιδιά, απορώ γιατί τσακώνεστε μες στα comments ακόμα για τον κάτω. Με το να συζητάτε για τον κάτω και να μου έκαμε και να μου έφτιασε. Ρε μπάλα μου τον κάνετε χρυσόν. Έναν πας στον πάγκο ποιον τα ευλογημένα. Ξαπολάτε τον να ησυχάσει. Και εκείνος
Absolutely
ξαπολάτε τον. Ξαπολάτε τον να κάνει. Έναν τζάμε ευλογημένος. Έφυγε. Εκιόξαν τον. Ενώ ρέκταν τώρα τζάμε.
Ενώ ρέκταν. Enough with the blow up though. Enough with the blow up doll. Gani, move on.
They're gonna get blow up dolls and they're gonna stick his face on it and just pass it around like, you know, they do in concerts where they body surf.
Wait, stop. You might actually start a trend now. Every Gato fan would go and buy a blow up doll, put his face on it, and take it to the field.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch it if I were any one of that. You don't know what sticky stuff was going to be on it. He'd be like, ugh. Where'd you get that from? From a cat. You milked a cat? Anyway, where are we? Are there any more comments that are worth bringing up, bro?
Ένα λεπτό να σου πω ρε φίλε, γιατί ακόμα έρχονται. Ένα λεπτό.
An hour and 12 minutes on this.
Ναι, ξέρω εδώ. Tell them about what we're going to do because we feel like it επειδή χάσαμε.
Right. Okay. So, as you guys know, from time to time we do giveaways, and we did one the other week. Stelio won it, so we're getting his hoodie made. We're going to do another giveaway right now for a No Choftes hoodie. And it's for the members. No, it's a hoodie. I'm going to do a hoodie.
Okay.
I'm feeling generous because I want to lighten the mood. So if you want to know Choftes hoodie, which Roy modeled last week, it's a white hoodie with the F ANTROPI logo on it. It's for the members. We got a spinning wheel thing. Have you got it, Pedro?
Ένα λεπτό ρε φίλε. I'm never going to go in the armory. I'm proud of Moniadis, ρε. I don't need Armaka. I'm on top of the mountain all the
You're losing us. You're losing us.
I have to reply to that.
Stop giving him the control. You're giving the control. You can't even bring the wheel on.
Shush.
Bring up the wheel, Pedro.
You just shush.
Times have changed. God.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Spin the wheel.
Yeah, I'm gonna spin the wheel. Let me get it. There you go.
You
I
can't
have the wheel.
Amsterdam,
I have
man.
the wheel here, man. Chill. I have the wheel. All
Right.
the numbers are there. All the names are there. All of the members. Those that pay 99 cents a month. Thank you very much. And here we go.
Spin the wheel.
Let's go. Let's see.
You didn't even put the sound on. What an amateur. What an amateur.
Well, you got to take the controls away, bro. Give them back to Roy at least.
Numbers. Oh, yes. What a number.
Είδες ρε. Είδες.
What a number.
The sound is
Come
on.
on.
You don't hear it?
No,
You
don't worry
hear
about
the
the sound. No, just in case it's that sex noise.
69. And that's a magic number.
What a number. Yes, come on. And the winner of the No Chofters hoodie is...
How do you didn't know?
Ta-da! Teddy P.
Theodorus P.
TP.
Εν τούτος που το απάντησα τώρα, ρε. No, ρε. Έτσι είναι κουτί γυαλό σου. Έτσι γιάμε, ρε.
Wow.
Change my mind. We're gonna reroll.
Wow. You could not make it up. You could not make it up.
Full circle. Full circle.
You repot yourself, boy. So, Teddy, get in touch with us, man, and we'll sort out your hoodie. You'll have to meet Roy somewhere or Pedro. You can meet Pedro.
Φίλε Theodore, he might have a blow-up doll in Gatos. That's why he might not want to go in the armari. Just...
to be honest, you have to go to his armari to get it. You have to go in there. You know, Pedro's armari takes you to Narnia. You know, like in Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. He goes in there. He goes in there, comes out. The Ice Queen is there. Do you like Turkish Delight? Oh Aslan!
Pedro's out there. Pedro's out. You support that?
Pedro's out. Pedro's Chegubestu.
And then it's a number of this.
Pedro's balls out. Put your nuts on the table.
I always put my nuts on the table. You know that.
Oh my God, this is a PG show.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh, they want you out.
There you go.
Oh, I know who this is. I know who this is. Let me open the Facebook.
Sorry, Theodore, I'm going to get your name off now.
Ο Gatos είναι στο job σουρίζεται, by the way, because we're talking about him. I think that's it, guys.
Yep. So, as I said, Theodore, get in touch with us. I don't know if you're on Instagram or anything like that. Get in touch and let us know your size, and we shall arrange your hoodie. Congratulations. And again, if you want to be part of the giveaways, just join our membership for 99 cents a month. You get the exclusive content. You can watch the Botiak interview. And just to let you guys know, I don't know if I said it already, but we have penciled in John Carver for next month.
Nice.
Penciled in. It's not guaranteed. He said he will do it. So you never know. One thing could lead to another, and he might not be able to do it because he's with the national team, etc. But we've got John Carver coming on the pod. Do you know what I want to do, actually? I need to speak to our friend at Omonoia Football Town to do a wall of fame for all of the guests that we've had on No Chofters.
That'll be nice.
Because I was thinking about it today. I'm like, wow. In the last 4 years.
A lot of people. A lot of guests.
We need a new wall. Gonna need a new wall.
Θεόδωρε, θέλω και εγώ σφινάκια. Δεν ξέρεις μου τα. Όχι να μου πεις τώρα για αρμάρκα και πελάρες. Είδες, εγώ κανόνισα τους εγούτι.
Pedro, do you want to mention anything that we need to promote, for example, like different shows and Discords and other things?
Well, everyone knows that...
Do it all in Greek because people might not understand what we're saying.
Ξέρετε όλοι ότι έχουμε το Discord που μπορείτε να μπείτε μέσα. Υπάρχουν διάφορες συζητήσεις με ακόμα 100 plus, ένα θυμίζει τώρα το νούμερο παιδιά, που συζητούν για διάφορα θέματα, Ομόνια, τρολάρουμε ένας τον άλλον, ξετοιμάζουμε, έχει πρόβλημα, εγώ πάλι αγαπώ τους. Έχει κάμποσους καραολούθκοι μέσα, μακάρι να καλά τα παιδιά μου, τα αγαπημένα μου καραολούθκια. Κάμετε κλικ στο Facebook. Join το Facebook group μας. Επίσης, κάτω στο description να βρείτε τα links για το Instagram του Stel και του Roy. Θα βρείτε επίσης το link για το Spotify, αν θέλετε να το ακούσετε, την ώρα που βουράτε, την ώρα που κάνετε το ποδήλατο σας. Μετά το τέλος της εκπομπής, που να τελειώσει το live, να πάτε κάτω, να γράψετε και κανένα comment από κάτω για να μας βοηθήσετε. Κάμετε κανένα like, κάμετε κανένα subscribe, κάμετε κανένα share, πατάτε το καμπανάκι και προετοιμαστείτε για τους Green Bulls, οι οποίοι θα επανέλθουν, όπου και επίσης οι Green Bulls αύριο έχουν ένα giveaway, όπου ο νικητής θα κερδίσει φαΐν και ποτό σε ταβέρνα μαζί με τα παιδιά των Green Bulls και εμένα και το Roy, παρέα. Να γνωριστούμε και από κοντά, να πούμε τα αστεία μας, να περάσουμε όμορφα μια νύχτα όλοι μαζί. Τα παιδιά των Green Bulls κάνουν τα πάντα στα ελληνικά. Υποστηρίξτε τους, υποστηρίξτε μας, διαδώστε το μήνυμα. Ομονία κατσιλάκα. That's it.
Πέτρο.
Bloody useless. Marzipan dildo over here. Crying out loud. And also the Paul Parker Man United podcast.
I already mentioned it. I already mentioned it again.
For crying out loud.
Ce bate uli na evrede. Το πρώτη συνέντευξη του Paul Parker ποδοσφαιριστή της Manchester United μαζί με την οποία κέρδισε και Premier League και ευρωπαϊκά τρόπαια, έπαιξε με τρομερούς παίχτες όπως ο Ερικ Καντονά, Μάικλ Σούμαχερ. Smile.
Did he push him off the fucking ski slope?
Yeah, well, it's the same season if you think about it.
Oh,
I corrected it. I corrected it, didn't I?
You played with grace like Michael Schumacher.
Oh my God.
Didn't I correct it? So duck you guys.
Liability.
Duck you, and duck both of you.
Liability.
Oh
and duck this guy and go in like this is Mappa.
Joe, with all this laughing, I'm gonna get abs. Oh my God. Whew. Ade, thank you, Chris, for jumping on again. Appreciate it, my guy. Pedro, thank you for thank you for what you've done.
for thanking all of you guys.
Thank you for sending it to us.
Thank you for
Michael Schumacher. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Ade, boys and girls, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Tell your nunna, no choftes. It's the Alpha Podcast. We got the Wall of Fame. Omonoia today is the Wall of Shame. Ade, yalla shilla kamu.
Bye, everybody.